The haunting melody, Symphony of the Damned. In the heart of an old forgotten city stood a grand theater, its once glorious facade now worn and weathered by time. Within its crumbling walls lay a tale of tragedy and despair, a story whispered in hushed tones by those who dared to speak of it. For within the theater dwelled an otherworldly presence, a haunting melody that echoed through the halls long after the last note had faded. The legend spoke of a young prodigy, a gifted composer named Gabriel Devereaux, whose talent was matched only by his arrogance. Determined to create the masterpiece of a lifetime, Gabriel delved into the darkest corners of his soul, drawing inspiration from the macabre and the forbidden. But as his symphony took shape, a darkness descended upon the city, casting a shadow over the theater and all who dwelled within. As the opening night approached, whispers of a curse spread through the streets, warning of the danger that awaited those who dared to attend. But for the thrill-seekers and the curious, the allure of Gabriel's symphony was too great to resist. Among those drawn to the theater was a young violinist named Isabella, whose talent rivaled that of Gabriel himself. Captivated by the haunting melody that echoed through her dreams, Isabella felt an undeniable connection to the composer and his music. Determined to uncover the truth behind the legend, she ventured into the heart of the theater, her violin in hand. But as Isabella stepped into the dimly lit auditorium, she felt a chill run down her spine. The air was thick with anticipation, and the sense of unease hung heavy in the air. Ignoring the warnings that echoed in her mind, Isabella took her place on the stage, her bow poised to bring Gabriel's symphony to life. As the first notes filled the air, Isabella felt herself transported to another realm, a place where the boundaries between the living and the dead blurred into obscurity. With each haunting melody, she felt the presence of Gabriel's tortured soul, trapped within the confines of his own creation. But as the symphony reached its crescendo, a darkness stirred within the theater, twisting and contorting the music into a cacophony of chaos. Shadows danced across the walls, and the air grew thick with the scent of decay as the spirits of the damned rose from their slumber. Terrified, Isabella struggled to maintain her composure, her fingers faltering on the strings of her violin. But as the darkness closed in around her, she found strength in the music itself, channeling her fear and her grief into a symphony of hope. With a final, defiant chord, Isabella shattered the darkness that had consumed the theater, releasing Gabriel's tortured soul from its eternal prison. As the last echoes of the haunting melody faded into the night, the theater fell silent once more, its halls filled with the whispers of the departed. And though the legend of Gabriel Devereaux and his symphony would live on for generations to come, Isabella knew that the true power of music lay not in darkness, but in the light that it brought to even the darkest of souls.